Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the BullyZone podcast. I am Austin Largo.
And it's your boy Lance Winters here. And today, we're going to be talking a lot of when wills, what if scenarios. You know, there's a lot going on in wrestling nowadays, and we want to get to the bottom of it. So, first of all, we're going to have a little bit of update with news. Starting off with a Mr. Impact Memorial Donation Show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's still going on this April 13th at the Lucha Pro building. You contact Sean Black for more details on that. It's going to be a good fundraiser trying to bring back to the community and wrestling.
Celebration of life from Mr. Impact.
There you have it. Also, we're going to have the OC Burrito Project at the Doll Hut Studios today at 101 South Adams Street in Anaheim. You can come on by, bring some clothes, bring some drinks, have a good time, and we're going to bully homelessness together. You know what I'm saying?
Bully homelessness away.
Yeah, we're gonna
Not bully the homeless.
No, we don't want to bully the homeless. We want to bully homelessness away. You know, because everybody is a paycheck away from being homeless. So we got to look out for one another as humans. But jumping into this week's activities.
A lot of people have questions about, who's going to be the next big thing? What's going to be the next big promotion? How is this company going to rise up? But today we're going to ask when. When will, and let's start off when will Sami Zayn win his first title? His first WWE non-NXT title on the main roster. Any insight to that?
That's a good question. You know, I was hoping it would be at Fastlane recently, but it turned out to not be true. Sami Zayn, though, he's got the potential. He's got the strength and what it takes to really be. I feel like he's just been brushed to the side, when you have such a big impulsive wrestlers, it's kind of hard to keep everyone on the top card. I feel like he's been straggling on the mid card for about 2 years now.
He's recently been moved up, teaming with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens seems to always be towards the, upper mid card, almost main event. But, Sami Zayn's just tagging along. His first title, probably U.S. Championship. A little bit after WrestleMania, I wouldn't be surprised to take it off Jinder Mahal when he wins it at WrestleMania. But Sami Zayn, you gotta get on it. You've been around for how long now? NXT started probably, 2015, 2016. On the main roster for a couple of years now, and it's just
time to do something with it.
Like I know you're better than that. I know you have what it takes to be champion, but you haven't proved it. So get on it. Get away from Kevin Owens. He's taking away all your spot.
Kevin Owens already been a champion.
He's been a world champion already.
That's what I'm saying. You're following behind on your friend. You got to make sure that you guys are steadily competition. It's not just going one way or another, because then, what do you want Kevin Owens to do when he's at the top and you're still struggling to even be relevant in the situation? So Sami Zayn, you need to step it up and get it going, because you can really make things happen.
So Sami Zayn, lesson here is step up. Speaking of firsts, when will Braun Strowman win his first WWE title? He's really the monster that's been taking over Raw. Biggest pop of the night every time he's on screen. You'd think by now, he's had multiple Universal title championship matches, and still hasn't walked away with it. So it's only a matter of time, not if, but when. And that's the question. When is he going to win it?
Hopefully soon, man. He's been in, like you said, he's been in countless opportunities to win, but he's been more of a buffer, just being used as the man to push the agenda for, everyone's favorite Roman Reigns, So I feel like once Roman gets the title and once Roman holds on to it for a bit, I think that's when it's time for Braun to take over and really put the boy in work. So I want to say in the next 9 months.
Definitely. If it's not in if it's not by SummerSlam this year, then WWE, you don't know what you're doing. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. He's really kind of the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just comes in there, wrecks havoc, leaves the crowd happy. I went to the last show I went to. Everyone was bummed out because he wasn't there. Still a good show, but it would have been next level if
Mr. saw the
Braun
monster among men.
Stepped foot into a ring in the great city of Anaheim. Let's go into our next when will. When will the fans finally root and get behind the big dog, Roman Reigns?
I don't think there'll ever be a time for that. You know, I think he's been pushed down our throats for so long already. They're ready to see something else. He did deliver that powerful speech a couple weeks ago when he cut that beautiful promo. But
That was in Anaheim.
I was in Anaheim again. So another great shout out to the Honda Center, right?
Honda Center, forever to be called by me the Pond. Yeah, that's a way back Wednesday, throwback Thursday for you fans out there who know the Pond before it was the Honda Center. Give a like if you remember it as the Pond. But yeah, like you said, he gave that great speech, that great promo about, Brock Lesnar being Vince McMahon's guy. It's really ironic because Roman Reigns is,
Vince's guy.
Vince's guy. Not a bad guy, not a good guy, but his guy.
Yeah, the guy that Vince wants to see the title around the most has to be this guy.
But if he really did, he probably would have put it on him already. But I guess what he wants to have happen is Roman Reigns slays the beast. And that's probably going to happen, coming up WrestleMania. So tune in. Another when will Roman Reigns not main event WrestleMania? Is it going to be this year? It's going to be like 3 years from now. Every year I see him main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's been steadily going at it, signifying that it is his yard because, that's how The Undertaker would do when he was active. Most of his matches were one of the last two matches of the card, So maybe with this whole big dog thing he's got going on, he could possibly be main eventing for a long time. So have to cross our fingers and hope not. You know what I mean?
Talking about the main event of WrestleMania, let's jump into the next question. When will the women of WWE main event WrestleMania?
That's definitely something that's a lot farther than I'm talking about. Unfortunately, they've been having a great push this year. The first women's Rumble, the first women's Cage, but the first women's main event where she's gonna be the last match of the night. Let's not push it too crazy. Like I said, I'm all about intergender wrestling. I'm all about promoting equal wrestling. But until we have something built up of that caliber, it's just not going to pull or it's not going to receive as high as some of the other male matches we have going on this year.
A lot of rumors have been swirling around that next year, WrestleMania 35 may have the first women's main event. Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and Asuka, for whatever title they're competing for, whatever show they're on. But I can really see that as a possibility in the near future. You're not going to bring Ronda Rousey in, and not make her a star right away. She has that name power, that legitimacy they like to, throw around for any, former professional fighter. When Brock Lesnar came back, that's all they would talk about. He brings legitimacy to the WWE, and I don't think anyone, brings as much legitimacy as Ronda Rousey does. I know she lost her last two fights, but still, just the fact that she went out there, had those fights, you don't win them all, but she won a paycheck. I know she doesn't need a position in WWE, but she wants it.
She wants to etch her name in that stone, and it's totally possible next year to have a great Rumble or a great WrestleMania with a women's match like that. But it all comes down to the endurance, Does she have the stamina to keep it up for the next year, or will Ronda fizzle out? It's a good, valid point.
Is she gonna get injured?
That's what I'm leading to.
Case of the, injured bug, kind of like Samoa Joe. He's been on the main roster for about a year now, and he's been hurt like 2 or 3 times already, like lengthy, injuries. That's why he's missing WrestleMania. Everyone's stoked. He finally made his main roster debut, and what happened?
What are they using with it? What were they doing with it?
He's just hurt. He's got a banged up foot. I know. I want to see him in WrestleMania. Everyone's talking about him and John Cena WrestleMania 34. That ain't happening. We got John Cena, Undertaker.
That's just speculation. At the same time, we still.
It would have been a cool match 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Now I don't know.
I feel like Undertaker's too old. Leave the man alone. Damn it. He's over here. In his 60s. Feeling great. Not trying to wrestle. his last match, it was all out of bounds. You know, they had to make it a no holds barred match so they can give him some time to breathe. You know,
Some
while
time to breathe, some more
someone
stuff
was
to
thrown
do.
out of the ring.
You know, we talked about John Cena right now. And that brings us into our next question.
Let me know.
When will John Cena break the record for most world title reigns? You know, right now he's tied at 16 apiece with the great one, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. You know, both have 16. You know, unofficially, Ric Flair has about 20, 21. But we'll just stick with the 16. You know, it's been a year since John Cena's last title reign. You know, is it going to happen this year? Or is he going to retire before it's too late?
Nah, he needs to retire, man. Because the way I see it is he's just going to end up getting a title reign real quick, running off with it, and then you're gone. If he's going to be a champion, we need a champion that's going to stay, and he's going to be running long in the game. You know, so unless Cena's ready for that commitment to the fans, that commitment to the other talent on the show, then he needs to step up, and if not, let somebody else get a step in that light, you know. And even if that does mean Roman possibly being the champion after WrestleMania.
You know, John Cena, you know, it's taken a while, about 15 years to finally just tie the record. You know, it seems like, you know, there's a long drought, maybe like 2 years he didn't have a world title reign. You know, from 15 to 17, just completely world title-less. So 2 years and you can't win the world title. Mr. John Cena, one of the biggest wrestlers on the planet, and you can't win a world title within those 2 years. You know, I don't think he's gonna.
That's what happens when you want to take time off to go do your movies and go do your specials and commit half and half to a project. You know, you won't get taken seriously. Yeah, you can pop up any day and beat down a Jason Jordan, make him feel like trash. But what's that gonna do for you if you're just gonna go run off and shoot another movie? You know, build all this heat, build all this high intention, and then.
I will say I am excited for his new movie Blockers. That looks pretty damn funny.
Shout out to Blockers real quick.
The
check
butt
it in
chug.
theaters.
Yeah, I'm down for any John Cena butt chug scene. Yeah, we need more of that. But enough of John Cena. Let's talk about the boss himself, Vince McMahon. When will Vince McMahon finally step down as, you know, CEO, you know, president, whatever you want to call him, as the boss of WWE?
He's holding on to that thing to the death of him. I will tell you that right now. Vince has made so much money compared to how much he had when he started this thing. He's just ready to die with that gold. You know what they say, be buried in my pyramid of wealth. And yeah, it's already pretty much established that Shane's not going to get that big of a cut of it compared to giving it away to Triple H. So it's just a matter of time till he
You
keeps
think
the
it's
bucket.
going to go Hunter and Stephanie? You think they're going to run the show after?
Oh yeah, I mean, where else would it be going to?
It makes sense.
In your opinion.
Yeah, you know, Triple H has, you know, created this whole, you know, entity known as NXT that people seem to love. You know, I haven't been on that craze. You know, make it a weekly show, not a pre-taped, you know, network exclusive show. You know, I'm all about the real time, you know, live. But NXT,
Like SmackDown
you know,
Live, do you agree with that? Do you think that's fun?
of course. You know, it's SmackDown Live. That's why I grew up watching SmackDown. You know, they had the fist when I was watching. You know, bringing back the fist. But, you know, NXT, when I have caught NXT, it is a good show. Especially the takeovers. I will give Triple H Trips his credit for that. You know, the last one they had in January was that Aleister Black Adam Cole match. That was awesome. You know, we'll talk about that main event in a bit, but you know, he knows how to, you know, run wrestling. But and he's taken over 205 Live, and everyone's saying, "Oh, that got 100 times better since he's taken over." So he knows what he's doing. But do I want him to have full control? No, my heart's with Vince McMahon, and I think you all know that.
Holding out for Vince. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. What else we got on the template
Let's
today?
talk about, you know, the legends of WWE.
The legends,
And
the throwbacks.
you know, one legend that's been, you know, that seemed to have disgraced himself, Mr. Hulk Hogan. When will Hulk Hogan
Ooh,
be
it got me
welcome
nervous.
back to the WWE? You know, after that video and that, you know, that rant he was going on. If you don't know, look it up. You know, we ain't gonna talk about it. I know what he says.
I know
Lance
what
knows
he
what he
says.
says. Yeah, so If you don't know, where you've been for 2 years.
It's
But
not new.
exactly, it's not new news. But he is a Hall of Famer. He's headlined countless WrestleManias. Without him, would WWE even be here? There's a lot of what ifs, but I think it's only a matter of time till he gets welcomed back to WWE. Probably.
I mean, he's got to. He's been such an intricate part of
Exactly.
wrestling. He's definitely worked his dues. Everyone needs to be forgiven. It's just crazy the things you'd say in the moment. You don't look back at it and think how would it affect you. So that's the only thing you'd have to consider. Is you did say those things with that intention at that time, and it may not be true now, but there's some point in the line where you felt that kind of way. So it's always keen to watch your words and don't let that emotion get to you, because he'd probably be in here sooner, if he had a better reaction to it. But that's my opinion.
Hulk Hogan, the legend that he is. Not only was he a legend for WWE, he was a legend for WCW, and because of Hulk Hogan in WCW, they gave WWE, their biggest competition to date. The whole Monday Night Wars. You could check about it, online. WWE Network for $9.99. I know what I got to say to get sponsored, but they have a whole series about the Monday Night War. They go in depth, about what it took to win. What they had, what WWE had, what WCW had. But when will WWE have stiff competition, like the '90s, like that Monday Night War? Is there another promotion that you think can step up to the plate and give WWE a run for their money?
Nothing right now that I could think of, just in the sheer strength of money and resources right now, because WWE bought out all the other ones back in the day. It's kind of hard to start off as a new company and then try to overpower this big branch. But things like Ring of Honor, the Global Force Wrestling, I think in due time they'll come up to being some sort of standard, when it comes to wrestling. But I believe it's mostly the independent wrestling. I think any of those promotions will be the ones to one day, get that random pop and rise and get the publicity and the go global with things. You know what I'm saying? Like Pacific Coast Wrestling, for example.
PC Dub, shout out to PCW.
Yeah, they just had their Tough Luck event 2 nights ago. But when you have wrestling on a scale like that, you just need the right audience. You need the right exposure, and you can definitely give WWE a run for their money. So when it comes to something that can rival their competition, I'd give it out to them.
Yeah, PCW's been on the rise. Lucha Underground's been on the rise. Impact, they seem to be getting things together. If somehow they can all combine forces, be one mega powerhouse show, talent from all over the world, that'd be pretty cool to see. We didn't mention New Japan. They seem to be giving WWE a run for their money. The only problem that's probably holding them back is that language barrier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't speak Japanese. I know a lot of stuff. I just don't know Japanese. I know Kenny Omega is probably their biggest star. I would give that because he speaks English. I know what he's speaking about in his promos versus Okada, who's probably the better, the bigger name because he is champion, longest, IWGP champion in their history, but he speaks Japanese. I don't know Japanese. I know a lot. Like I said, I don't know Japanese, though.
Japanese is not your suit.
But, come on down. Anyone from New Japan, come on down.
We'll get the Siri to translate for us if we can get a real good interview,
Anyone who knows Japanese, leave a comment down below. We need you here when we get Okada on the show. I know that's going to happen someday. But, speaking of New Japan, the match quality they have, that's what makes them so popular as well. Their matches seem to be wars between the competitors in that ring. I want to say, I want to ask, when will WWE have another 5-star match? I know NXT, WWE they had a 5-star match. Johnny Gargano, Andre Cien Almas, for the NXT Championship. 5-star match, blew the roof off the place. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out because our boy, Cien Almas walked away with the W, as he should have. If I was him, I ain't gonna lose to someone, as tiny as Gargano. He's as big as my finger.
Yeah, you can't definitely take an L to a guy like that. Well, you're playing yourself.
But, when and who would you think has the potential to put on the next WWE main roster 5-star match?
That's a good question, because everybody has the potential for it, It's just all about the storyline and the screenwriting. But if I had to pick some people to match up, I'd have to say someone along the lines of AJ Styles. Throw him in the mix with somebody that could really work well. And
AJ Styles, of course. The phenomenal one. He didn't get that name by accident. Who else has potential? Well, everyone knows AJ Styles. That's probably everyone's first guess as a potential for 5-star match.
But unfortunately, it's never Jinder Mahal.
Jinder
just
Mahal.
letting that be known, ladies and gentlemen.
Jinder Mahal, he doesn't want a 5-star match. He just wants that gold. He's going to go in there, give you that Colossus, take gold from you, walk out, be champion.
Have his 2 little twin brothers come in, assist and assist.
Hey, a W's a W. There's no replays in the WWE, in wrestling. He knows, hey, his back's towards me. I can do whatever I want. Dick Hick City, take the title with him.
All right, we'll see if that has any
WrestleMania
viability when it comes to going against the Viper for that U.S. title, But that's all speculation, right?
If the rumors are to be true, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, triple threat match for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. Triple threat rules. There's no rules. No disqualification. So he's going to take that, use that to his advantage, get the Singh brothers in there, or the one. I think one's hurt. Get that gold. Probably make it the Indian title. Who needs the U.S. title when you're, the modern day Maharaja? I'm all about it.
Yeah, it sounds fun and all, but the Singh brothers usually good at teaming up and jumping one guy. Like you said, it's going to be a triple threat stipulation, so who's to say Roode and Orton won't come in and dispose of the Singh brothers before they make short work of Jinder Mahal. Then they work on each other, like I said.
Hey,
Jinder is
out
sneaky,
of 3 of
but he's
them,
not that slick.
Out of 3 of them, who was the most recent WWE champion? Mahal.
And who's held the gold the most out of the 3 of them? Who's the most decorated out of the 3? Who's the most veteran in the bunch?
Yeah, that just means Randy Orton, 13-time world champion, or however many. It means he's lost 13 times too. Exactly.
But that's 13 opportunities, whereas
he had, and 13 that he lost.
Well, I don't think another opportunity is coming towards your boy's way. So
Jinder Mahal, he's I think he's only had the 2. When he won it from Randy Orton, and then he lost it to AJ in Britain, and he had his rematch at Clash of Champions. So, he's 1 for 3 on championship matches. If you do the math, I don't have the paperwork in front of me. I know a lot. I don't know this math off the top of my head.
Get back to me on the calculations, boss.
But, let's take into account, someone out there calculate the chances that Randy Orton's had, that he's won his losses, and then take, I feel like Scott Steiner in that math promo. You take Jinder Mahal's 33 and a third chance, minus Randy Orton's, 26% chance. There's no competition. Mahal, everyone else. NXT. Shout out to NXT. Keep doing what you're doing. But let's talk about, someone who, the return of one of the biggest, WWE superstars in current history.
Hello, how's it going, guys? Just a quick shout out to everybody tuning in. Just want to show some mad love to you guys. We're watching you. We see you in the comments going crazy for this good old BullyZone podcast.
Yep.
We're on episode 5, baby boys.
Shout out to Dave. When will CM Punk return to WWE? Or let's even broaden that question. When will he return to a wrestling ring? The rumors out there, the Bullet Club are doing their self-funded, 10,000 seat indie show in Chicago. They're trying to make that blow up. A lot of rumors saying that, CM Punk might be all in as they're doing. You think that's true? I know he has a match coming up for UFC coming on down the line. He's already 0-1 in UFC. Pretty pathetic.
What a great start.
Yeah, got choked out. Not a good way to go. Brock Lesnar.
Run into the cage. You know what I'm saying?
Charged the guy, got taken down,
and asked for a timeout. That's not how we do it in the big boy leagues, but that's how they did it.
So CM Punk to WWE, think that's gonna happen?
I don't think so. I think he's it's so hard to tell whether that whole pipe bomb situation, what was fabricated, what was meant to be heard, and what wasn't.
All I gotta say is everyone's got a price for the $1 Million Man. In this case, Vince McMahon's the $1 Million Man, $1 billion man, to be correct. But we talked about CM Punk and his return to the Octagon coming up. When will Brock Lesnar return to the UFC?
Well, speculations insist that it's going to be right after WrestleMania 34. He's going to drop that title, take some time off to bulk up or hulk up or whatever he needs to do, get his body all cleansed up, and then he's going to go in for the kill. He's going to go for his domination streak, just like how he has been with the WWE. So, not too long. I'll probably say the next 3 months he's going to be already back in the ring, or at least have some publicity going about it.
Yeah, you get Brock Lesnar back in the UFC. That's a money match. Get him in the Octagon with Conor McGregor. Even though they're probably a 200-pound difference, I like to see that.
Even though
that'd be the real money match. Throw Floyd Mayweather in there, somehow make it a
triple
boxing MMA hybrid match. Of an octagon and a boxing ring somehow mixed together.
They say if they haven't done it before, we could be the first.
Exactly.
That could be a BullyZone niche right there.
McGregor, Lesnar, Mayweather, your guys get in contact with our guys. We'll make some magic happen. So we talked about Brock Lesnar going back to the UFC, making an impact again. Let's go back to WWE and let's go back to Raw. When will Raw go back to 2 hours? It's been 3 hours for a while now, and I always try to watch Raw as much as I can. But, starting at 8 o'clock, going 3 hours, that's ending at 11. That's just so long. I got work early in the morning. I got business to attend to. We gotta sign a petition or something, make it 2 hours. SmackDown, they're doing it right 2 hours. With commercials, it's only about an hour and a half of full content.
And see, that's the thing. Like when I first heard of Raw going for 3 hours, I thought it was experimental. I thought it had something to do with the 25-year edition. But yeah, nowadays it's horrible, dude. It's 3 hours a week, on top of the 5 hours for SmackDown, and then the other hour of what's it called?
Yeah,
205 Live as well.
Do the math,
what I mean? Do the math on all those shows.
3 hours.
And then imagine being someone like me that doesn't watch, isn't buying the television most of the day, and you're really caught with a lot of material. You're behind weekly, so stick to indie wrestling, guys. That's my best bet. We got a lot of great shows coming up this month to end off March, and we had a couple great shows this month already. So just do that, just do that. Save your time. But for those that really do jump in with all the
support
WWE
indie wrestling.
Yeah, support indie wrestling. Someone make that a hashtag, and we'll pin that today. But yeah, so when will they go back to 2 hours? We don't know. But I guess they bought the time block, so they're there to stay.
When will AJ Styles headline WrestleMania?
This year, baby.
Gonna be this year, him and Nakamura.
He's got three more weekends to not lose his title before then he can be smooth sailing.
Yeah, don't get him in the ring with Mahal then. Him and Mahal, that might risk chances of
injury. Because Mahal's a sloppy wrestler. That's the last thing you want to do is to unintentionally hurt a wrestler. Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks maybe has. Is there any record of Mahal injuring anyone?
Not yet, but
exactly.
That just means that clean slate's ready to get tarnished.
I'm sure if you check AJ's record, he's probably hurt.
Anyways,
he hurts himself more than anyone.
That's true. He's very accident prone.
Exactly. So, if anything, he's gonna be the one hurting Mahal. Mahal's just in there protecting himself, going for that gold. That's why he's got the Singh brothers. The guy's back.
Yeah, the guy's back full of testosterone and steroids pumped into him.
Hey, it's working. It's working.
It worked.
I know what I'm seeing, and it's working. He walked out, backlash with the championship, WWE champion. So.
Well, that's what happens when
Mahal.
the steroids work, but the ratings in India don't. He keeps the muscle. But
Hey, he's from Canada, so I'm sure he's like, yeah, India's cool and all that, but Canada, that's his homeland. Started out in Stampede Wrestling. Shout out to Stampede and the Hearts. Speaking of the Hearts, when will Owen Hart get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
We've all know about the incident that happened with Owen Hart. That's never happened to anyone, let alone a legend like him.
Well, yeah, supposedly his wife has the rights to all of his property, his likelihood, his name, and his image, and she wants nothing left to do with the company, so that's why you haven't been seeing him in any video games. That's why he's not in any on the WWE network. It's because she really does own a lot of his entity, and the last thing she wants to do is throw his name out there for another WWE cash grab, which is exactly what I believe that whole flying stunt was. They were told multiple times that it's not safe. It doesn't add up to a good idea. But, push came to shove and someone flew the hard way. So,
WWE, they should get their stuff together. There's no bigger, legend not in the WWE Hall of Fame than Owen Hart right now, probably.
A name that deserves to be put in there.
Any interview I watched with some of the old school wrestlers from his time, never had a bad word to say about him. They all loved him. Never had any problems. Some people fall off the wagon, have their substance abuse. Owen didn't have that. A lot of interviews I've read, watched. Owen was just wrestling. He wanted to get out, but he's wrestling to make the money for his family so they'd be well off. I think he wanted to retire, become a firefighter, I think. But, he didn't get to reach that. His kids are at home now. They're probably grown up now, but for a time they had no dad. No dad to look up to. So, WWE, get back. Get your senses together. Put my man Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, give back to him. Give back to that family. They put in a lot of work for you guys. They say time heals all wounds. Hopefully that's a wound that will heal before it's too late. As they say, the doors are closed. But what else do you got today? Get some brighter news going on. Give me another scenario.
So, Randy Orton, at Fastlane walked away with the United States Championship, making him a Grand Slam champion. My question is, when will there be another Grand Slam champion? And if so, who will it be? My money is on Mahal. He's already got the world champion out of the way. That's probably the hardest one to get now. United States Intercontinental Tag Team. He's gonna knock them all out. WrestleMania, get that U.S. title. Jump over to Raw, get that IC title. Find a partner. Braun Strowman doesn't have a partner right now.
There you go.
Strowman, Mahal.
There you go.
Just get it all out of the way.
Just
boom,
hash
boom, boom,
out for a couple of weeks and be champs.
Exactly, and then Mahal's in the record books.
That sounds like something that's definitely plausible. Let's say plausible. Anybody could win. We could be talking about Fandango right now. So it's all just talk. But yeah, I can totally see that. He could have his moment in the sun, but who's closest to it right now?
I know
who's a belt away from becoming.
I know John Cena's only IC title away from being Grand Slam, but at this point, it just seems like it's beneath him right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He can either choose to break the Ric Flair streak or choose to jump in on the home run champ. And he's probably gonna try to fight Undertaker. He has all these things he wants to do in the ends of his career. He's got to try to balance out and figure out which one is the biggest boost or popularity. Does he want to fight Undertaker? Does he want to beat Flair's streak? Does he want to become an all-around champ? That's what happens when you use your time wrong and you get put in movies, you know, because you waste
Hey,
a lot of time.
my man's trying to make a check. Shout out to that. I know.
He's not making Rocky dollars, I'll tell you that.
If you look at The Rock and Cena, Rock was kind of the same way. You just, supporting roles. Roles are,
Talking bulls and things of that nature, yeah.
exactly. Rocky had that one movie, the alien movie, Planet whatever. John Cena had his about the bull. So they're on the same career path. It's only a matter of time till, Fast and Furious 22 comes along. We got John Cena versus The Rock in that movie. For a third time, they had their 2 WrestleMania matches. So, it's all a possibility,
Anything happens in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, baby?
A buddy cop movie with The Rock and John Cena, it just writes itself. That's just, I'll be first in line with my movie ticket in hand. Speaking of tickets, you can buy your Bushido Cup tickets now. We'll get more into that later. But, you got any win-wills?
Yeah, I got some good heated rants going on, like when you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel. That's how it makes me feel. In case you guys didn't know, earlier this week, wrestler Jeff Hardy was arrested on suspicion of, he was driving with narcotics under the influence. And, he's just going to put a damper on his career. He was already suffering from a shoulder injury. We were talking about this last week and how we wish him well. And now it's just even longer till we get him back in the ring. So, Jeff Hardy, you need to get it together. His whole career has always been nothing but a show of, misusing his talents and his potential. You want to get into it. Back in 2003, even, the first time you saw him make a big pop was when he was going against Undertaker in the ladder match for the championship.
Yeah.
He put on a hell of a show, gave Undertaker a run for his money, and although he didn't win, he had a big pop right there. He was
climb that ladder, kid. Make yourself famous.
Yeah, and
shout out to JR.
And just off that, he was put into the top card echelon. You know what I mean? He was up there killing things, and what happened? He ended up getting released for his erratic behavior and his drug use. He refused to go to rehab, and Jeff Hardy, of course, goes back into wrestling again. 2006, 2009. He rose to the mid card, but then he was asked to leave again. He had a drug policy in 2008 that he messed up, which ended up him missing out on WrestleMania 24. He could have been mainlining that with CM Punk, but again, the drug policy had to kick in and ruin him. You look back even in 2011, Victory Road for TNA, that classic Sting match.
Check that out if you want to see, someone too out of their mind, let alone just to be, functioning, but try to put on a wrestling match. Yeah, Victory Road 2011, Hardy and Sting.
Yeah,
it's pretty sad to watch.
It really is. You see Hardy walk down the ring and he's all inebriated. He's just, you can totally tell he's out of his head. What's his name? Brian Hebner, the referee of that night, threw the X's up. He knew that he wasn't going to go down tonight. Bischoff ended up coming in the ring, having a let Sting know, just to hit him with that. What's the special? I always lose it. The Texas or
Scorpion
the
Death Drop.
The Scorpion Death Drop.
Slop drop for all you Godwin fans out there.
There you go. And he hit him with the hard pin, and that was the saddest.
Yeah, the hard way. Yeah.
2 minutes.
Shoot it on him.
2 minutes of wrestling that you've ever seen. And after that, he had his whole little TNA stint. He came back and he was the Broken Hardys, that whole gimmick and stuff. And ever since
shout
then,
out to Willow.
And then since then, everything was great. You think that he's gonna shoot up to the top of the world, and then now this happens just when the woken Matt Hardy character starts to kick in. Who knows how the Ultimate Deletion tomorrow on Raw is gonna turn out?
You excited for that?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be tuning
in
for that.
Yeah, so you got a TV at home. Get some brews and fight us over. We'll have a good time watching the Ultimate Final Deletion, whatever they're calling it now. But shout out to the Hardys.
As long as you guys got 3 hours to kill, let's do it.
Get your stuff together, Jeff. You're old enough to know better. You're on some kid stuff right now.
Yeah,
like one of the Usos. He just got popped for a DUI. DUIs in WWE is not really the end of the world.
But it's a bad stain on your on your tie.
Yeah, it's bad for him. He's already had his problems with substance abuse. Just when everyone thought he was clean on the straight and narrow, he goes ahead and does this. Was he drinking for the pain? Pain of the shoulder, just pain of the world on him. Who knows? I know a lot. I don't know that.
Yeah, you know what I know is it'd be really great if this was all fake.
Working us, making an angle.
But unfortunately, life is not as kind as we want it to be. But I had that thought for a half second in the back of my head. What if this is all just some kind of propaganda to promote the ultimate deletion? But that's just a child in me.
Yeah, if WWE's, trying to exploit his problems,
that wouldn't be the first time they did something of that nature.
Vince McMahon blowing up in the limo, bad taste, but
right around that time,
that's that BullyZone mentality. So
get that ratings up.
I respect the hustle. You just go about it a different way. What else do you got?
When will Hideo Itami blow up? You know what I'm saying? He's like an amazing dude. He's been wrestling since 2000, the early 2000s. He's been a heavyweight champ, a 2-time junior heavyweight champ, a 2-time tag team champ at Pro Wrestling Noah. He's had a match of the year already, believe it or not, in 2006.
Kobayashi, right?
Yep. And that was in the 29th of October, 2006, So, it's like I said, it's another one of those examples where WWE brings in too many people and it's oversaturated.
Too many cooks.
And it's hard to, who's going up, who's going down, So he's been there in the mid card. He's been now he's on Raw. He's on the cruiserweight division, but
I think what really hurt him is, he makes a big impact in NXT, and then he gets injured. Comes back, has a match with Aleister Black, but he loses that match, and then I think he was injured again shortly after that. Before, I can't recall because he seems to be injured all the time. He's never there, and then he finally makes it to the cruiserweight to 205 Live. And what does he do? He goes and breaks Brian Kendrick's face.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, he can't even use his move no more. That go to sleep. So Kenta, stretch, man.
But it's crazy if you think about it. A lot of wrestlers, in the indie scenes, they don't get as injured, but when they make their way over to wrestling with the WWE, they're more injury prone. I don't recall Samoa Joe I believe he had about 2 injuries when he was in TNA over the span of 10 years, but. And then over here, as we were talking about earlier, Samoa Joe's just been getting whipped all year with injuries. I don't know if it's that WWE lifestyle. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. You signed to WWE, you kind of sign your life away. You're on the road. Close to 300 days a year. You can't, go home to your nice warm bed every night. But they know what they're signing up for. But some people just aren't up to the task. Kind of like Brock Lesnar, his first run around, in the early 2000s, didn't like the touring schedule. Now he's a made man, can do whatever he wants. Doesn't show up for Raw. And what's happening?
Still gets paid.
That's that BullyZone mentality. Get that check, whatever means possible. I know I'm trying to do that. But Hideo Itami, he is he still in the running for the cruiserweight title?
Everyone's always in the running for the cruiserweight title nowadays. I feel like that title has so many opportunities.
Well, no, because they're having the tournament right now. I think it's gonna be Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali. I think, if I'm not incorrect, that's who I have my money on. That's the final competitors to compete at WrestleMania. But there's still ways WWE can book it to make it a multi-man ladder match.
Add some stipulations at the end.
Yeah, they should just do that. They should make that a tradition. A multi-man ladder match at WrestleMania. They did it with the Money in the Bank starting off.
That's a fun little angle,
that should just be a tradition. They done it with the IC title for a bit. 31-32. If you're gonna have a gimmick match, make it a ladder match. If you don't have a match on the card, just throw them in there. Or the battle royal. And the fact that they got a women's battle royal this year. They're just trying to put everyone on the card. No one wants to be left out. It's the biggest show of the year.
And that's what I'm talking about. You're oversaturated again. It's hard to see the talent, see the potential, see who's the real new guys, the heavy hitters, because everybody wants to be behind something else. They want to be behind the Oscars and the Charlotte Flairs in the company, but you got to give it up to everybody there. They've all put in some kind of work to be there. Even Mikey O'Shea that one time.
Yeah, Mikey O'Shea. Shout out to Mikey O'Shea. He was way back, but still got screen time. Still get that check. Still get that catering food. But you got any more questions to add on?
No, I don't know. What about you guys? Anybody? I know we had a question from Brian asking if we're sponsored by HP.
When will we be sponsored by HP? HP, get back to us. Our people will contact your people. Let's get things going.
Let's make some moves. Let's make this work for everybody.
When will you be able to see BullyZone again? We'll answer that question right now.
Well, let's get into it.
March 24th. OCCW presents the Bushido Cup.
Major news alert.
A strong style tournament. It's an 8-man single elimination tournament for the OCCW Bushido Cup. We can't zoom in, but doors open 5:30, bell at 6. BullyZone will be there. So come out, support BullyZone and the great wrestlers on the OCCW roster. You need tickets. Hit up the BullyZone. We got that ticket. Special pricing, $10. Get them before they're gone. I went there today. Not a lot of tickets left.
Not a lot of tickets left. You got to pick up those bad boys quick. They're going to be at American Legion Post number 555, I believe. That's going to be a Midway City, ladies and gentlemen. That venue is large, but we have always been sold out. You always want to make sure you get there early, too, ladies and gentlemen, so you can guarantee yourself a nice seat. Or you could also stand in the back, watch BullyZone do its work. But we will be having our second episode of BullyZone Live.
BullyZone Live at OCCW Bushido Cup.
We don't want to give away too much about our secret guests or secret appearances. We got some specials going on. But I got to say, it's going to be just as electric as our last time at Heartbreak City, Return of the Battle Royal. So make sure you guys buy your tickets. Check out any of the other talent. Let's get into a little bit of the match card. You know what I mean? We got an opening match. It's going to be a Voodoo Master versus 10 Bears, man. Can you believe that? First time we worked with OCCW, we actually had them together in a tag team.
Shout out to Voodoo. Shout out to 10 Bears.
Voodoo 10 Bears. I remember we all sat there together. You were our first little interviewers, our first little promos, and now it hurts me seeing you guys fighting like this. But I got best of luck to the both of you guys. You guys have both came a long way since then. It's going to be an electric opening match to this strong style tournament.
Yeah, it's a strong style tournament, so it's going to be lots of kicks, lots of strikes, lots of hits. Come check it out if you like Nakamura. Think that, but times
everybody.
10. Yeah, everybody on. I was watching them practice today. They're learning their strikes, their kicks. Figuring out. They're sizing up their opponents, see what they got to do.
How to hit them the hardest.
Exactly. You're gonna see some stiff shots coming out the Bushido Cup. But let's get into the actual, the 8 men competing. First on the card, it's gonna be Max Ammo. Shout out to Max. He's tight with the BullyZone. First is former OCCW champion, little tiny Rudy Rogers.
Who? I already forgot that guy since he lost his opportunity to get a championship out of Othello. I thought he was already done and put in the back of the heap, but I guess he's coming back in for another chance. He must have really cried to John to really get a chance in, like at Heartbreak City too. Had to beg to get his name in there, but it turns out he's going against Max Ammo. I'm pretty confident. Like we said, Max Ammo's our boy. He's going to be delivering those hard punches, making his way up to the finals. What do you guys say about that? The same? Me too. Let's keep it moving.
I know Max Ammo's got this. I don't want to put that other name into my mouth again. Leaving a bad taste. But let's talk about Drew Masters, Mikey O'Shea.
Okay, that's more fun.
Trainer versus teacher. Going one-on-one. I believe for the first time they had that triple threat. Last year in November at End of the World. Drew Masters did walk away with a W. What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, not without the interruption of Lord Autu or any divine intervention.
You can't say that. You don't know. They don't play by anyone's rules.
That's very true. But as far as the match card shows up, just the two of them, just seeing them together in a ring, it should be interesting. You know what I mean? Because they're both real sportsmen about it. So Hopefully nothing underhanded, just a lot of entertainment and
Yeah, will they be
good power
able
moves.
to get over the fact, they've been so close for so long? Will Drew Masters have what it takes to give, stiff forearm to his former teacher, Mikey O'Shea? And will Mikey O'Shea have what it takes to give his former apprentice, a stiff kick in the chops? You have to come out, see it for yourself.
That's right.
Next up, we got Vintage Dragon and B.A. Marcus Frey.
B.A. Marcus Frey.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I already got my money on that guy. He's a tough son of a gun.
Yeah, B.A. Marcus Frey, if you're looking for some representation, you know where to find us. BullyZone.
But
Check us
Vintage
out.
Dragon, I'll give him his credits too. He was phenomenal at Heartbreak City. He was fighting with his partner against La Raza, you know.
Raza, yeah.
So he's doing his good little segment. It'd be interesting to watch how a high flyer and a heavy hitter meet at a Bushido Strong style tournament, you know. All that jumping around is going to lose a lot of stamina and endurance when the big train Marcus Frey comes by. So that'll be fun to
Yeah, it
watch.
just takes one, strong strike, put down Vintage Dragon for the 1, 2, 3. Next up, I know you're excited for this next match.
Oh boy, we got so much going on with this one. I still haven't gotten a response from either one of them. Hopefully we can get them in the studio next week.
Yeah, we have the team of La Raza, Alexander Vega versus Freddy Flores. Yes, you didn't hear me incorrect.
Champion versus champion.
Tag team champion versus tag team champion. They're brothers, they're partners, they're a team. How could John Malice, book this match?
I wanted to get inside his head and figure that out. There's no reason for this to happen other than John has something against them. John is jealous. John has some greed. Ever since OC lost their championships to La Raza, it looks like they're doing whatever they can to try to split up La Raza. And it's not cool, John. You can't break up bad. You can't make the bullies go home. They're going to figure out a way to win this.
Yeah, Jonathan, I know what you were thinking. You're thinking you can create some sort of division between the two of them. All you gotta say is Viva La Raza. So first match at Max Ammo, Rui Rogers. We both have Max Ammo.
Yeah, let's just put that in the bracket. And we're going to simulate our own tournament right now, ladies and gentlemen. You can check it out again next Saturday, the 24th.
Drew Masters, Mikey O'Shea. My money's on O'Shea. He's got that experience, to edge out Drew Masters. I believe it's going to be a close match, but Mikey O'Shea is going to walk out with that W.
Okay, you can go down for O'Shea. I'll agree with you on that. Even though I do believe Drew Masters is a skillful, talented young individual. Like you said, it's a teacher versus the master, and the master always has something he hasn't taught him yet. So
Exactly.
hopefully we'll be in store for some new surprises.
Vintage Dragon and B.A. Marcus Frey. I know my money's on B.A.
My money's on Marcus Frey, baby. We're about to throw him in the bully zone as well. Like I said, I expect a lot of power moves from this guy. Saw him training myself last Thursday, and he's pretty phenomenal. So we'll see what he's got going on. We'll see what kind of special surprise he has for Vintage Dragon. He said he's going to go slay the demon, so we'll see about that.
Now, here's the toughest one. The team of La Raza.
We don't even have to talk about it. No, it's not even going to happen. There's
Well,
always something to fix
just
the
worst case
situation.
scenario, I gotta put my money on Flores. Fighting Freddy Flores out of Philadelphia. I believe he's gonna have that edge, but I still think he's gonna have Alexander Vega in his corner later on down the card.
No, definitely not. Alexander Vega is the muscle of the group. Freddy Flores can do all the talking. He can do all the cutting of the promos. But when it comes down to hurting somebody and putting the smack down, you got to put your money on Vega, baby. He doesn't talk. He's focused. He's so tuned into his work that I'd have to give it to him. But I have my own theories about how this is going to end, all I know is I saw I work with my buddy Edge with a little swapperoo, Who knows how that's going to happen. Maybe somebody doesn't make it to roll call.
That's a very good possibility. Maybe some dysfunction might happen even before the start of the event. Maybe one might not make it.
Someone might get sick, as they'd say in the company.
Let's just think. Overall, who do you have your money on? Who's going to be standing, victorious after it's all said and done once the dust settles?
I'm not going to lie. As long as it's not Rudy Rogers, I'm going to have a hell of a time entertaining myself. So if I had to put my money on anyone specifically, I'd have to say maybe Mikey O'Shea. I had an actual word with him the other day, and he seems pretty confident and ready to run through everybody. So I'll give it up to Mikey then.
Max Ammo, tougher than you. He's going to go in there, vegan since 72, or tougher than you since 72. He's the biggest and strongest that I've seen on the whole OCCW roster. So, if you're betting against Max Ammo, there's something wrong with you. I know it. Max Ammo knows it, that he's walking out winner of the Bushido Cup.
Well, that's going to actually be interesting. While we speak about that real quick, if we do have it, if I'm looking at the brackets right now, the finals, they could be Max Ammo and Marcus Frey, two of the biggest guys on the roster. You said Max Ammo was the biggest, but, Marcus Frey may have a couple of inches on him at least. So that'd be fun to see two power guys. That's what BullyZone's really about, is seeing the heavy guys putting in work and the power moves.
Speaking of the biggest guys, also on the card will be Othello versus Azrael for the OCC championship. As we know, Azrael won his number one contendership by winning the Heartbreak City Rumble. Who do you think's walking out champion?
Oh, Azrael for sure. We've been seeing his compilations. He's got all these videos going on, his promos against Lucy, and he's been he hasn't been winning, but he's got that enthusiasm, and that's what you really need at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Just a smile on your face with your head held high. Maybe he'll be able to take down the 7-foot-tall LA Assassin.
Hey, I just know whoever wins this match, I'm happy either way. So I know Othello, the LA Assassin, the biggest man in the room, any room he walks into, I know he's a killer. I know Azrael, he's got that, that little tick in his head. You don't know what he's going to do. He's beating up girls with chairs. Yeah, I like that intensity he brings to the table. So either way, I know I'm going to be happy whoever walks out OCCW champion.
Yeah, and you got to remember, Azrael, there's people that aren't on the card that's going to be there, for all we know. Like I said, he's a part of Divine Intervention. Who knows what kind of chaos they'd all get into together to ensure that one of their brothers walks out OCCW heavyweight champion. But that's a discussion for another day.
Get your tickets. Hit up BullyZone for tickets now. Special pricing, $10.
Just $10, ladies and gentlemen. Come on by and get your Bushido Cup
let
tickets.
them know you're there for the BullyZone. Anything else we got coming up?
So yeah, not only do we have the Bushido Cup, but we also have our Underground Empire Wrestling March of the Damned. That's also going to be March 24th at the Santa Ana Elks Lodge. That's at 212 Elk Lane in Santa Ana, California. General admission is only going to be $10. You can get a reserved spot for $15. The doors open at $2:15, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be a great match, or a great showcase. You do not want to miss it. It's going to have the main event, which is a Fans Bring the Weapons for the UEW Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. It's going to be the champion Fern Owens versus Corporal Robinson. There's going to be a Tag Team Championship match too. It's going to have the Vandal, Andre Verdum, and BC Killer versus the Heavy Hitters. So shout out to Tony Race. Just had his birthday the other day. Going to have to check him out. Other things, like we have...
Human Tornado.
The Human Tornado going at it. He's going to try his best bet to go against Max X for the Internet Television Championship. The Insaniac is going against Lord Atu. There's an Underground Rules match, which I believe is like that death match no one's telling us to go to, where there's going to be blood and chaos everywhere. That's going to be fun. It's going to be Matt Twisted versus Aiden Way.
A death match, right?
Yeah.
ECW Classic.
It's
Shout out to the Rotten Brothers.
Going to be intense. And then we're also going to have Biagio Crescenzo versus Darwin Finch. So we're finally going to get to see Darwin Finch up in personal again. We haven't seen him since Amped Up Wrestling.
He's the guy doing the Bullies homework, so we got to pay him some respect, but
there
not too much.
Got to throw credit on his name where it's due. But
throw a dog a bone.
That's all we got here today, ladies and gentlemen, here at the BullyZone. You got anything else you'd like to announce? Anything for the world?
Once again, this Saturday, you can catch BullyZone at the Bushido Cup as we bring you another edition of BullyZone Live. You don't want to miss this show. You see a lot of strong style on TV. That's on TV. You don't get to see how intense, and hard hitting it really is unless you're there in person. And this is your chance. So come out, check out the show. Make sure you have your BullyZone shirts. What BullyZone shirts you say? Make one. I know you're possible. I know you're not too dumb to figure that out. Get a Sharpie, write BullyZone. If you can't do that, you're not down with BullyZone. Get off my channel.
Yeah, we can't deal with any of that, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be a great show. It's going to be our second chance up there live, giving you, the crowd, what you want, which is us, the BullyZone. Am I right? Am I right? That's what I'm thinking. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, with that being said, it's your boy Lance Winters.
And I've been Austin Largo.
And we'll catch you guys next week on our 6th episode of BullyZone Live.
Number 6, big time, baby.
Yep, look at that. We haven't got canceled yet. We're doing something right.
Bushido Cup.